Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. In this episode of FC Recco, I'm going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite films, one of my desert island films, a film that I think is a flat-out masterpiece, Pedro Almodóvar's Talk to Her. This 2002 film is one of the most twisted, most obsessive love stories of all time. The narrative deals with two men, Marco and Benigno, who strike up a friendship in a hospital. There, they are tending to two women who are in a coma. The women are Alicia and Lydia, and we don't get too much of a backstory about them, but we do know what they were doing before they ended up in this state. Alicia was a dancer and Lydia was a bullfighter. Their professions add an invisible layer of emotion to the whole story because they were defined by their movement. Their whole profession was about movement, and to see them lying in this vegetative state, it's heartbreaking. From this premise, Almodóvar takes off on two tangents. One story is between Lydia and Marco, and this is a fairly conventional love story. And the other story is between Benigno and Alicia. Benigno is a nurse, he's also a stalker. We get a pre-coma flashback and we see that Benigno could see Alicia in her dance class and he falls in love with her, or maybe it's not even love, it's something, it's an attraction, it's an obsession, though she certainly does not love him back. So when Alicia slips into a coma and ends up under Benigno's care in the hospital, it's like a dream come true. He speaks to her as though she were his wife and she's not awake to contradict him. Benigno talks to Alicia, he bathes her, he dresses her, he has sex with her, he treats her like his wife. What's tragedy for the woman becomes a blessing for the man. In another film, Benigno might have been played like he were a flat-out villain, but Almodóvar complicates our emotions by making this man, Benigno, his name itself suggests something benign. He seems incapable of hurting a fly, and yet here he is doing this horrible thing of violating Alicia's space without her consent. The childlike nature of Benigno makes us not want to hate him. He's not evil after all, but look at what he's doing to Alicia. If she were awake and Benigno was still doing all these things to her, what would we think? The highlight of Talk to Her is a rape, and Almodóvar does not show it as a rape. Benigno rapes Alicia, though in his mind, in Benigno's mind, of course, he's having sex with his wife. This rape is shown by portraying Benigno as the protagonist of a silent film. He drinks a potion that makes him shrink. He becomes small enough to enter his girlfriend's vagina. He enters it. He enters her. Some viewers are sure to find Benigno a monster, but look at how Almodóvar views this character. He said he was like a friend, and sometimes our friends do horrible things, and sometimes all we can do is depict these horrible things without judgment. And what about the fact that Alicia is in a coma and has no say in the matter? Again, this is what Almodóvar said. There is a lack of understanding in almost every love story, and in any case, for a relationship to work, only one side has to love, and he called this pure romanticism. Now, this is an enormously complicated statement, but I also find it enormously human. Relationships are complicated. Now, on the one hand, we have these man-made rules without which society would cease to exist. Imagine what would happen if everybody started running amok doing exactly what they wanted in the name of pure romanticism. But on the other hand, there's the empathy that allows some of us at least to see that what Benigno does is, in his own twisted way, also a form of love. Talk to Her in the end is about the mysteries of human behavior, which at the end of the day is what we call life. That's the end of this episode of Recco. Tune into the next episode. See you soon on Film Companion South.